Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers, and I'm here to talk about Game 37 of the regular season where the Rangers lose 3-1 to the Los Angeles Kings. One thing that you forget about when it's not baseball season is how West Coast games suck when you're on the East Coast. Those 10 p.m. and games like tonight, that 10:30 start time, those are not that they're not that fun. I guess I should rephrase, not that fun when you lose, because when you win those late games, it's all neat and cool, and you're up late watching a win when everyone else is asleep, and that's all neato spaghetto, and then when you lose, you're just some idiot at 1 a.m. watching a sports game, sad and depressed, being like, I could have been in bed sleeping and be comfortable, but instead I'm watching this. That was tonight, because the Rangers lost, in a game where we looked pretty terrible to the Los Angeles Kings. Alright, the defense was not great. The offense was also not particularly great, but let's talk about the defense first of all. First goal for the LA Kings, very, very, very early on in the second period. Trevor Moore takes a shot on net. It's stopped by Georgiev. The rebound is not cleared by Keandre Miller, who is standing quite literally in the crease with Georgiev and just doesn't clear. I love Keandre Miller. I really do. I think he's going to be a very, very good player defensively for the Rangers going forward. And he's been solid, but this play is... You can't do that. You can't just look at the rebound like, gee willikers, I hope someone does something about that. No. You're supposed to do it, Keandre. I love you. Clear the puck. And so Philip Deneau just sort of waltzed on in and was like, oh, look, a free goal, and just yoinked it over Georgiev. And it's 1-0 Kings. But... it's still very early, and then not that later on, the Kings would make it 2-0. So later on, right, the second goal for the Kings. They come cruising into our zone. Trevor Moore has the puck. He kind of puts it on net. It's tipped by Arvidsson. I hope I'm not butchering that. It's left right in front of Georgiev because he does make a stop on the first shot, and then no one stops it. And now, let's talk about the issue on this play, right? There are 3 players nearish the puck to play defense. None of them are defensemen. Those players are Alexis Lafreniere, Ryan Strome, and Artemi Panarin. Now, here's the thing about those 3 players. All good players, and, good players. Some of them even great players. They're not defensemen, nor are they that great defensively. Where are the 2 defensemen? They're off in the corner, defending 2 players who are so far out of the play, they might as well be in the stands. Do you see the issue I'm getting to here? That's right. They need to not be in the corner. The Tenorti and Nemeth defensive combo is just one of the worst things I've watched. And I really ask the question, why is that the combination? You have 2 young defensemen, 2 pretty okay defensemen, with very high upside that are here. They're on the taxi squad, I believe, or they might just be on the bench being told, nah, it's not your guys' go. Why is Zach Jones and Niles Lundqvist, why aren't they in the games? Look, I don't want to be mean to Tenorti or Nemeth, but man, they don't have a long-term future with us. Jones and Lundqvist do. Put them in. Even if it's as bad as the Tenorti-Nemeth combination, at least it's National Hockey League minutes for these young guys. Like, just give them the ice time. I'm begging you, Rangers. So that's it for a very long while. Little over halfway through the third period, the Rangers do get on the board. We're throwing it around the offensive zone. McKegg gets it. He kind of coughs the puck up, but since it wasn't technically a turnover, Hedl jumps on it. He takes a shot on goal, and Mika Zibanejad plays Chris Kreider simulator and scores to make it a 2-1 game, putting the Rangers on the board. Mika Zibanejad staying pretty hot. I think it's safe to say this isn't just one of those little streaks, because now it's been going on for like nearly a month, even though there was that gap of playing time that was missed. I think Meek is good, guys. I think he's kind of back in the swing of things. I say hopefully. And then later on in the third period, Kemp scores an empty netter to seal the deal for the Kings. And that was just a meh game. Now, Mika, I thought played well. The first line looked pretty solid. tonight. The first line always brings a lot of energy. And, man, I get that you're down some players right now. So I get that the lines after the top 6 are not necessarily what you want them to be. But, man, it wasn't a good night for the Rangers. You got outshot, horrifically outshot. 39-23. That's bad to get outshot like that. And while to an extent you can say we got goalied by Cal Pettersson, which he had a fantastic game. He had a few really nice saves. 22 of 23 doesn't sound insanely good, but that's a pretty good game, especially with some of these saves that he had thrown in there. But we didn't so much get goalied as much as we just didn't put that many shots on net. We did not look good offensively. We continue to struggle in the first period, and there's this weird thing that's happening with the Rangers right now where we look better with Panarin not in the lineup than with him in the lineup, which is very strange because just common sense would dictate having a better player would make your team better. Panarin is easily the best player and the most talented player on this roster, and yet when he's in games, we don't look as good. Now, sure, we had a couple of stinkers this season when Panarin hasn't been there, but we also had a couple of really great games, including absolutely wiping our feet on the face of the 2-time reigning Stanley Cup champions and getting 40 shots on goal on the road like 2 nights ago, right? And I wasn't exactly the happiest with that game, but you can't deny that it was still better than tonight's, and it's just a very strange alternate reality kind of thing where we somehow look worse with Artemi Panarin. And I am not, by the way, I'm not saying at all that Artemi Panarin is the problem, because he obviously, that's a ridiculous thing to say. That's not the problem, but we do need to figure out why we don't look better with a great player in the lineup, because it's very strange. I will give a caps off to Georgiev. He held us in this game far longer than we deserve to be in this game. 38 of 30, or 36 of 38 shots. He played great. Like, Georgiev was fantastic. He put us in a position to win, and we let him down. Georgiev, maybe not to start the season, because he started pretty poorly, but being in relief of Igor Shesterkin, Georgiev has looked pretty darn good. I'm going to be honest. I can't be too hard on Georgiev right now. He played great tonight. This was not on him by any means. 2 goals allowed on 39 or 38 shots. I'm not going to say any negative thing about him. And quite a few of those shots were on the power play. Stopped 7-7 against when facing power play shots. Like, it was just a rough game. I'm not gonna tear into him too hard because you are down Gerard Gallant, who's out due to COVID protocol. We had Chris Knobloch on the bench, and you're still missing a few of your players, even though they're not exactly like high skill position players. They're more so the grinders down on the 3rd and 4th line, but I understand that they still are players that you have in your lineup, basically on the Gamely, and they're missing. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a pass, but man, games like this can't be happening 2 weeks from now, because this just looked bad. And I get that the Kings are a good team this year, but the Rangers are better, and this was not a great performance that we put out there on the ice tonight. So that's all I have for the evening. Guess what, guys? It's another 10:30 start time coming up on Thursday. Yay. We're going to be on the road again against the San Jose Sharks. These 10:30 game time starts are killers, I gotta tell you. Anyway, I will be here after that, but that is all I have to say for the evening. So, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Rangers.